Good evening, everybody. It's Matrix here, and here's my watch list for December 18th. All right, so let's bring in the futures. Today was a really great day. Unfortunately, I didn't trade because I decided to take a break for a few days. But I guess I missed a big move. We are officially in bear territory. Yay! Um, the the SPY futures are gapping down, but it's retracing a little bit right now. So what my plan for tomorrow is, it's gonna try to test yesterday close. It actually already did, and it's starting to fail from there. I mean, if I'm gonna zoom in a little bit right here, as you can see, yesterday's close was about here, and it gapped down, came back up. It's failing right now at this 2560 area. All right, so what does this mean? The market's about to open in about half an hour, so I think we should be getting another leg down up, another leg down. um what I'm actually looking at is probably a little fake out pop back up into probably this 2570, and then get it hammered back down. It's going to be a choppy day in the market because of today's reaction. Basically, the market sold off a lot, right? So it does need a day to retrace. As you can see, we have massive red day, retracement green day, massive red day. So today should be a retracement green day, and we should be expecting a little chop. So the plan going forward for today, for the SPY, at least, I'm watching this 257.50 area for it to pop back up, maybe get it up to even the 258. All right. Sorry, 258. Wow. You know what? Yeah. Let's take a look here. It could get back up to 259. Let's see. It broke some critical levels. We tagged the February lows. Yeah, I like 259 a little bit. You see this green candle wick here? This is the bottom of this candle wick. This is where I want to see it test. And yesterday's lows 259.85. Now I want to see it test this little green candle wick over here and then fail. So the market's going to be choppy once again. So we got to be really patient and careful with our entry, especially don't play the open. I definitely do not want to long the market right now. Looking for pop into major key resistance areas, and then looking for the backside would be the safest play to short. If you guys are not familiar with how to short the backside, I have a video lesson on that in my YouTube channel under one of my playlists. Take a look at that. Let's get into the watch list. I have a few tickers for you guys tonight. ORCL, Oracle, announced earnings after hours. Now, even though the earnings beat, the earnings consensus wasn't really impressive. It beat by literally only 4 cents. Looking at the daily chart, this is a really baggy chart. What I mean is there's a lot of bag holders in this. I mean, at this 49 to 50 area. So even though it is a earnings winner, I am expecting a pop tomorrow, and I'll try to tag. Right now it's sitting like a little bit above 200. It's at what, 47.80. Oh, it's sitting right here, right at the 200, right? So I am expecting a spike and a fail. So maybe a little test of this 48 would be too close. I mean, it could be surprising because for the past few days it's been selling off due to people getting out of the earnings, pre-earnings call, right? And now that we have see some earnings, the shorts who haven't gone out, basically this is a short squeeze right now. So it could squeeze up a little bit early tomorrow, and then look for the backside fade. I think it can actually fill the gap up to this 48.85 here. Maybe it could even surprise us. It get back up to 50 first. right? But 50 is definitely the a long shot target. I mean, if it's gonna squeeze and it goes crazy, I'm just gonna let it go crazy and watch for that sell off at the 50 if it gets there. I mean, even this 49.50 area too, because the reason why I'm talking about this baggy chart is, I mean, take a look at this. I mean, people bought here at the breakout of 48 on this day on November 30th, right? And then they held, and then some people bought this dip as well, and the lows were tagged at where? 49.20. So if they so happen to get in on this low, the very next day they basically we probably had buyers coming in buying this breakout, sucker buys at this breakout of the 50 and holding the bag as well. So I just don't think the stock can get back above this area over here, no matter how hard it squeezes, because a lot of bag holders here in this 50 area. 50 is a very key psychological hold number. Now, looking at the chart here, I mean, after hours, this spike was pretty big. So, depending on what happens pre-market, right? I mean, it might keep coming up pre-market, but I will definitely be paying attention to the 50 and 49.50s and 49 as well. Looking for the backside, don't want to play the open because it's a bag holder chart. I do anticipate a late day fade or maybe a late lunch fade around the noon or 12:30 time. So looking at that, probably fade it down to the 48. So I want to see the squeeze as much as possible. AMD. AMD, following the market thesis, I think it's going to pop a little bit. I'm going to be watching the resistance area right here at 1950. Okay, basically yesterday's lows. I mean, if I'm going to mark it off on the intraday chart here, I know it's a long way. It's like 55 cents right now, but we should be getting a little bit of gap up and try to test this low area. And then I'm going to look for the late day fade. AMD lately has been basically just pop and drop, pop and drop, pop and drop, pop and drop, right? We know the pop is coming. We know that. All right. We just got to be very, very patient and wait for that. Probably around the noon crack or the 11 o'clock crack. So wait for that. Be very patient with it. Would I want to buy along it? Definitely no. Would it sell off like this at the open? Quite possibly. The most important part is if you do see this sell off, you do not chase this downwards. And if you do chase this downwards, you need to size down even more and use an even smaller size because you are chasing. And if you are chasing, then your target should be 18s and look for the bounds from there, right? So yeah, from the 18s, look for the bounds and get the hell out if you're chasing that opening short, right? So that's AMD. Next up, we have BBY. BBY sold off huge. Following the market thesis, I do anticipate a little bit of a gap up here from the close. Let's see it test. I want to see it test this 54 area. This is where the major selling happened, right? All the big boys hammered it in, as you can see, with basically a fake out push where the market makers took fake out the shorts and took some of their shares and basically took those shares and dumped it on them, right? So I am looking for that pop back into where the big boys are selling here at the 54 level, and I'll be looking for the sell-off again tomorrow. With that said, you need to expect this to pop because it has sold off a lot and it's overextended to the downside. Walmart was a beautiful call from last night. WMT, I called it to reject at 92 and hold it down to the 90. So basically that's what it literally did. See the top out here at 92. It happened late though, I mean 12 o'clock, and then all the way down to the 90 area. Now we are sitting right at the 200 SMA, but I do anticipate this to to continue downwards. I mean, it's looking very, very weak. If 90 snaps here, let's mark off 90 real quick. We have a lot of potential to come down to at least number one, the 98 level. The 88 level right here. Basically, nothing's really holding it down. So there's 2 more points if this thing panic, and then I guess essentially the 86 and 85, right? So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a pop. First area I'll be looking at is 91, although we are sitting really close at 91. So I do anticipate it to pop through a little bit. I will have to wait and be patient about that. I like the 9150 as well. So that's right about this area, 9150 to 9160s. You see it's yesterday's lows. Was it yesterday's lows? Yeah, yesterday's lows. So mark that off at 9157, 9160s area. You see the 200 SMA on the 5-minute chart coming down on it. Yeah, and look for the rejection signal and hammer it back down. I mean, it should happen around late mid-lunch, right? And finally, we have ROKU. ROKU I really like. This is probably going to be one of my main watch tomorrow because this is a more recent IPO stock that's only been IPO a year and a little bit. It's coming into a very critical level of $30, and I called this last week. I mean, I think I called it last week or a few watch lists ago. I called it for the pop and drop around this area, and the long swing short would be the 30 area, right? Today we see more weakness. The stock did close weak, even though the SPY, let me bring in the SPY here, even though the SPY bounced after hours and late day. Oh, this is the 15-minute chart. Even though we see this massive bounce here, ROKU didn't do shit on this bounce, right? We have a lot of short sellers piled in. If the SPY gaps up tomorrow, I do anticipate whoever shorted today to take profits, causing a cover pop. And the next area I'm watching is definitely 33, a key psychological whole number. So right there is the 33, and I do see it coming down from 33. So depending on what it does at 33, I do see it coming down, and we should get a test of today's lows. If it doesn't crack today's lows, it's just probably going to be a chop day consolidation, and then on tomorrow, Wednesday, it's going to try and hit that low again and come right back down. We should be able to take it down to the 30 area in the next few days. So that's the main watch for me, and that's my watch list for this evening. If you guys enjoyed what you watched, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all bright and early in a few hours. Ciao.